15 on that clock. Spinks has got the bomb. Oh, this Deagle kill. It could have been huge. Would have ran that bomb in, would have had a gun and a clutch attempt late. Instead, a one-round game, and Falcons right on Mouse's heels.
This is such a classy comeback out of Falcons. Some tough rounds, some good responses. They're not losing the anti-ecos. Like, it's just been so solid, and they've made up for the pistols and then some. Looked like Falcons were under pressure, now looks like Mouse.
Silver lining, Mouse's economy stays alive. Purchase back for Torji. Op is here for Mouse to try to challenge, and you've got Nico kind of playing out on an island. There's a world where he gets punished on some sort of a fallback, maybe an overface. Smoke pop momentarily. Nico still floats down here. Kyosuke gonna fall back. Nico takes a ton of damage for just looking at middle. He is sitting on 25 health now.
He's a good guy to beat up. You know, not opping here with the rifle has been very active. Key component. Mouse are missing some X factor while this comeback is taking place for Falcons. Nico's the one who's shining here. There's no 2K entry to cement the bomb plan and guarantee the round. It's not coming down to a 1v1 retake defuse, nothing like that. Falcons are suited up. This is gonna be the last chance for Mouse to have real confidence before our round begins.
Finding mid for free this time, right?
Yeah, they found that like 3 out of 4 rounds.
And one time Falcons really push into it, there was nobody home.
Extremely, now we have.
Here we go, fight on ramp, and Jimmy gets bested. Kicksan has gotten so much value out of these ramp pushes. Kyosuke starts to turn away from that window push. 3 members of Mouse up and through connector. But Kicksan doubles back, and as he sits towards the Tetris side, there's the strike. Kyosuke gets his, and it's utterly stuffed again. Unfortunately here for Spinks, no bomb possession. Falcons are going to tie this game at 11 rounds all, and just pushing off of the ramp again. Look at the comfort that Falcons have found.
I mean, I gotta give it to Nico. I feel like he's kickstarted this whole thing with his early impact, and his team's just coming together fully. Kicksan does a good job of coming back from the ramp. It's a position where Nico was sitting there at Tetris, but if Kicksan shows himself, he's also the guy who got the A-ramp push kill this time.
Man, this game is feeling like it's slipping, and this is a Cyclone who has no more pauses.
Yeah, the X Factor moment, I mean, he's probably tried his best to make something happen, but I think they've been trying to put lipstick on a pig with these A hits.
Getting so much value out of these. I mean, Nico doesn't even have to show his hand.
Yeah, and so, you know, Kicksan, you know, even if he dies, they're fine.
Yeah, but he steps it up himself. Nice moment for the in-game leader of Falcons. Missed window smoke. Mouse are feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to feel it all round long because they do not have the tools for this job. Falcons have seemingly earned themselves a free 12th.
Just another round, just don't mess up, and they haven't so far.
Nothing usually comes for free at this level of Counter-Strike. Xertion gonna try to keep that pressure on Tesses, who really hasn't been tested for quite some few rounds now. At the start of this T side, that B bomb site had players flooding out through the windows almost instantaneous. And Mouse have just had this stubbornness about them, taking it back to the A side. And Connector hasn't been able to puncture through.
No, that's been a non-factor. Unable to get any CTs to be, you know, turning around. And Monacy taking a little risk here. No one up in Palace for him.
You know, Mouse have surrendered themselves to playing for overtime by coming into this one with just Deagles and Tech 9s. And is this suddenly where they no longer feel that pressure on their shoulders, where they can play a little freely? Kicksan again with a double kill off of the ramp push. Now Monacy's off inside of the ticket hold, and he gets whittled down to 40 HP. There's an M4 in Torji's hands at this moment, and while Mouse haven't been able to cross over for free, the pressure remains thick. Monacy's op shot comes in, connects. There's that Tech 9 to try to charge them down, but it's a beautiful flash and a denial. There goes the M4. There goes Mouse's lead.
Yeah.
Falcons on to 12.
Yeah, that's massive out of Falcons, man. No mistakes here. This entire CT side. Just aggressive enough, just strong enough into the late round, not giving up the opening until it's very late. It's been a game of handshakes in every round. Let's let you exec. They haven't had to push the top mid, no underpass plays, no B apartments pushes at all. And Mouse haven't tested B almost at all either.
7 rounds consecutive here for the Falcons. A masterclass of momentum.
Ooh, this one's gonna sting. 2 pistols for Mouse in this game.
Confidence boiling over for Falcons at this point, probably feeling untouchable in the calls is Kixan. And m0NESY establishes that first opening gambit. Now Zershin catching Nico though. A little Hail Mary here in round 24.
It's the most space that they've gotten this early.
Unfortunately, it's not with anything really behind it. It is just Zershin trying to operate solo. Kixan off of default. It's gonna get the better of him. And this was all while the rest of MOUZ still just remained in the open, playing their options, but nobody playing to trade Zershin.
You see, Kyosuke is such a beast in these spots, patrolling these headshot angles. You can just leave him there forever. And this is finally the moment when maybe it's too late. They want to try to test TeSS on a rifle round in this side of the map, and look who's here. m0NESY opened up shop with that first kill towards mid, meant to make this 24th round easy. They'll play that smoke, and TeSS only able to get the one. m0NESY here for his second frag, ready to put this map on ice, ready to shatter the dreams of MOUZ of starting this series with a Mirage victory. Masterful calls by Kixan, excellent performance from Nico, and m0NESY with the cherry on top closes out a Mirage game that felt like MOUZ's from the get-go. Both pistols fully converted. Strong performance from Torji and Zershin, and yet it is all for naught. That's an excellent team performance there from Falcons. You absolutely love to see. They didn't even have to do too much. They didn't get pushed to the next level. They didn't have to do anything beyond what was comfortable. Inside of mid, pushes on either side of the map. It was all Kixan getting aggressive a little bit. And that's all it took to make that comeback perfectly.
answer.
It doesn't matter. I just we know.
Okay. Okay.
This guy?
Yeah. So this looks kind of like Daps, right? Like a little
Yeah,
bit, but
it's
something strange. Yeah. Is it the glasses?
Photoshop Dap.
Maybe he normally has like black glasses.
I think he has green glasses, but it doesn't matter. I know. What do you think about the build?
I think so. Send that. Send that. That's it.
Let's go.
That was it. Perfect. Easy. Okay. Next one.
He's too much makeup. He's like anime hero. I mean, if he looks like this, I'm his fan. Tattoos. He does have tattoos, but who has that? He doesn't have tattoos. Maxim, switch. Let's go. Easy.
Twist.
What the fuck, Frozen is
Yeah,
blonde?
Frozen is blonde.
Frozen?
I mean, this.
Yeah.
This one was.
Frozen is blonde, yeah.
Look like two twists
Yeah.
in the same room.
No Frozen?
Makaze, it's obviously the headset. Like
Headset up,
yeah, EMA headset. Yeah.
You guys are good?
Okay, there is no mouse here.
Maybe he's crushing it.
No, stop. Okay, I would say
I
no.
think it's the mouse. It's the mouse.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Easy.
Или вот тут. Virtus Pro. They're not on major.
There we go.
Has an elephant here in the picture. Holy shit.
Oh, mais não dá pra ver daqui.
Yeah. It's difficult to see, but yeah.
Oh, Zipnix.
It's a wonderful
Fucking funny.
Wonderful Zipnix.
It's hilarious.
Wow, Zipnix hair?
Looks good on him, no?
Yeah, I think so. Like, looks young.
It's obvious. Mouse here, yeah.
Yeah.
Window last jungle.
I hold.
Jungle.
I pick on you, Ilya.
Is it jump ladder or underground? He's underground.
Under. You should kill him.
I'll try and kill him.
He's under window or under.
Underground.
I'm stepping right now.
I'm also stepping.
Nice.
Fucking nice, Damian.
Nice, Damian!
Nice, good job, man. Smoke faded, Maxim.
Let's smoke on A something. I smoke
Two
on
ramp.
Damian. Sell it.
One more
I have
ramp.
palace.
Pistol ramp.
Bomb.
Two ramp with bomb. Ramp and
Out, open up,
palace.
guys. Just play retake.
I'm running CT to you, Ilya.
Under stairs.
I'm coming CT, Ilya. I have two flashes.
Defaulted. Stay alive, guys.
Send
I
it.
flashed
behind
Tetris.
you.
I flashed Tetris, Maxim.
Default and city.
Let's CT.
Go. I'm going out.
Firebox. Nice!
Nice, good job. Nice, Ilya.
Pimba Maui are here to break down what you've just seen. And before we get into the map itself, gents, from stage 1 all the way through to now, we talk a lot about what the major brings to a player, the pressure that they feel sometimes, the change of atmosphere when you walk in here and it's a major versus something else. We've spoken a lot about how that impacts rookies. But my big question is it impacting Manasi?
That's a good question, and I think it's a valid question based on what we've seen so far in the tournament. I think the reason why we're asking the question is what we saw in Austin, what we saw in Cologne, what we've seen throughout the year, Maui, where Manasi have been absolutely fantastic in all the tournaments apart from the big ones. We saw him in Hong Kong 2 weeks ago, play Counter-Strike, like was he the best player in the world? Yet here though, at the major, he hasn't really been up to par, especially with AWP.
If people just tuned in for the very last round, they're going to think, what are we even talking about?
Fair.
But it took until round 21 for Monesi to get his first op kill. And about half of his op kills, in fact, I think 4 of them were against eco rounds. So, I kind of set it up in the pregame, the fact that I've liked his rifling a lot. We saw a great moment from it. But yeah, and to answer your question initially, Tech Girl, it does feel like we're getting a slightly different format of Monesi, because we saw this was good. By the end of it all, you're happy with what he did. But compared to the exceptional player in Chengdu, in Hong Kong, not quite the same, not living up to that same standard, which he created for himself.
Do you think the scoreline was a little bit too close for comfort for a Falcons fan?
I mean, they were lucky to lose that game, to be completely honest. They had to bring it back. In the first half, it felt like Mouse had the number, felt like Mouse were the better team. Brolan, as an in-game leader, involved in 10 opening duels, won 7 of them. Felt like he read them, felt like he had a good idea of what the game plan should look like and how to execute it. So, yeah, it was way too close for comfort. And if anything, it was good to see Falcons fighting back. Monis is stepping up in the second half, but I think Mouse, on the other hand, will be disappointed they didn't close it out. They had a big lead.
Without a doubt. I mean, I feel like when you look at MOUZ, when you look at some of the plans they were trying to execute there at the tail end of the game on the T side, not necessarily bad ideas, just, again, the margins being stretched by the Falcons players, and huge credit to Kyosuke throughout this one, and huge credit to Nico, because I don't think they really would have had much of a first half to talk about Falcons to give them the buffer in order for people like Kickstand, for people like m0NESY to truly get activated in that second half.
Talking about that first half, though, I mean, there was a moment where maybe the issue that m0NESY has as the majors is that he needs to stop picking up the AWP and rifle.
It feels like that, and that's why it was nice to see him early on, I think round 5, where he gets the early 1v2 in order to just make sure that there's something to talk about for this game, or else it would have been just MOUZ running away with it 5 in a row to kick the whole thing off. And he is just so precise with the rifle. Again, coming into this tournament with the AK in his hand, he was putting up stats that rivaled Donk in terms of just efficiency with the weapon. And so I feel like he needs to sometimes recognize, yes, the AWP is so impactful, so valuable, but on the T side, man, you might just be one of the best 3 AKs in the world, so keep to it.
See, that's the thing, right? It's a glass half full, half empty in that regard, because I agree with you, m0NESY is an absolute outstanding rifle player, but he's also an outstanding AWP player. So at what point do you pick up the rifle? At what point do you pick up the AWP? More often than not, I think he can find more impact with an AWP. He can install a bit more fear in his opponents, but if you're m0NESY, you can also have the luxury of saying, like you did here, Mirage, okay, I'm not feeling it, I'm not hitting my shots, I pick up the rifle, and then I find impact and end up being the highest rated player on the CT side for the team. So it is kind of a blessing in disguise for m0NESY. He can do both, but maybe sometimes it's interfering with each other because he's also doubting himself. What should I actually do right now? I'm good at both.
Let's dive in. How did Falcons win this in the end? What was their comeback in that second half?
Well, I mean, round 22, I believe it is. That was the key round in the game. You see the money on the MOUZ side right here. They have 0, 0, 0, 0, and $100 in one of the players. Another round where Kickstand finds an awful lot of impact, had a great read on it, aggressive on the CT side, and MOUZ kind of ran out of time. It was so clean here for Falcons.
The push into ramp from Kickstand and Nico was great because they were proactive. They didn't want to just play on their heels. And then I love this from Kyosuke to have the gall to push through the jungle smoke, to find that timing as they're trying to encroach, to create a crossfire that shouldn't even exist. I mean, that's how, again, a Falcons player in Kyosuke is just going beyond his years, recognizing it's MOUZ who are pressured, trying to just shuffle into that bomb site, and he just stops them in their tracks.
Kyosuke and Nico did the work there, I would say. If it wasn't for them, maybe this would have been a very different scoreline.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like all of them did a decent amount of work.
By the end, everybody.
And that's the thing, right? Everyone had a moment in the game where they were the difference maker. Maybe Nico in the beginning of the CT side kept them alive, then m0NESY stepped up, then Kickstand with some proactive plays. So all of them can be proud of the performance. Even Tessus, you know, I know it was against an eco, but shut down a B push, 4 quick kills with the M4A1S. So it did feel like Falcons warmed up into the game, and that's why I think if you're MOUZ right now, you're very disappointed. It was Falcons' pick coming into Mirage. You think to yourself, you win that, you go into Inferno, a map that Falcons notoriously have been struggling on as of late. You're all of a sudden in a prime position to book a spot in the playoff. Fast forward 10-15 minutes, Nico gets alive, m0NESY gets alive, and now you're the one finding yourself down 0-1. So I think if anything, MOUZ right now is disappointed. Nico obviously stepping up, that's great to see, but they had them where they wanted them in that first half.
What could MOUZ have done differently in the second half to be able to close this out with a victory?
Well, close the game when it was up for grabs. I feel like once you allow Nico and m0NESY and Kyosuke, for that matter, to get a sense of the feeling for the game, you know, give them a bit of confidence, then you kind of miss your window of opportunity in that regard.
I don't feel like any of the strats were really that bad for MOUZ. They were getting really close to the bomb sites. It's just the individuals sometimes were getting them over the line. I guess if I had to outline one thing, maybe keep your extremity player a little bit more active and alive. I mean, we saw in that round there, it's Yimpat that gets caught by that kind of push. If he has a little bit more presence of mind as he's approaching, it's the difference between getting onto a bomb site where you're crunching it or you're the ones that are running into a crossfire.
We're moving on to Inferno. Obviously, this is MOUZ's pick. They look very strong on it. But is there a way that Falcons is able to close this out 2-0 and secure their spot in the playoffs?
I think there is, because I think when you look at the results for Falcons on Inferno, they've actually been getting better. I know in Chengdu, it was a question mark, didn't look too good. In Hong Kong as well, they were tested on it. Vitality picked it against them. I think Furia picked it against them, and they looked good. They looked competitive, even were able to beat Vitality on the map of Inferno. So as much as I agree that it may not be Falcons' strength right now, I don't necessarily think it's a weakness anymore. And that's something they've been bettering in terms of the map.
I feel like watching them at Chengdu versus Hong Kong, what I notice is that there's just a little bit more structure to how they start their rounds, especially on the T side. At Chengdu, they're walking into open angles. People, in the last matchup that they played against each other in their third place decider, Kyosuke's walking into an op bullet from Torzi. You had Tessis walking into a hull stack. You have players that are just maybe taking a few too many liberties early in the round. And so in that last game, they just kind of, Falcons that is, had to just hammer B hits. And that's when Mao's just kind of came away with it because they knew what was coming before it even happened. But now, we're at Hong Kong, they started just having a little bit more direction, a flash towards hull so they can get that sort of space, a flash towards bracket so that Torzi doesn't get an easy pick. And those little extra details set their players up to find those open spaces and take the duels they want.
If I'm not mistaken, that was also the half of that third place decider where m0NESY had 0 ADR. You know, he didn't do a single point of damage throughout an entirety of a T-side half. So obviously that's going to be an outlier. That's not going to be the case here. That's not going to be the case against Mouse today. So in terms of how much do you put stock into what happened between these two teams last time around, I think the big outlier is that m0NESY was non-existent on the server, and that's obviously going to change today.
Mouse, we've heard the last 2 days quotes from them. We got to hear comms where it was like, I don't want people sighing into the mic here. Yesterday we heard this thing, I don't want to see you get tilted if we lose here, which tells me maybe concerns mentally about this team being able to reset. If they now lose this 2-0, they obviously drop, they have to fight for their lives tomorrow. Mentally, coming in from the being 2 games up, that's going to mess with them a little bit, right?
We love to speak about pressure, and no one can deny the pressure that Falcons is under, from within, from the community, from everywhere. But I think Mouse is also feeling a certain amount of pressure. The fact that they haven't been able to win any trophies, and that's always the conversation around them, that's one type of pressure. Torzi, on home turf,
yes.
If you find yourself in a 2-2 game, all of a sudden, you're not guaranteed to play in the playoff, you're not guaranteed to play in the Budapest Major when you are arguably one of the best teams in the world. I think that's even more pressure than Falcons is feeling right now, which is maybe why we're seeing some of those atypical voice comms coming out from us.
For Torzi, I just feel like he knows what he needs to do, but I feel like he's actually maybe caged himself, because when he first came onto this Mao's lineup, he was a loose cannon. The dude was going for so many aggressive plays, but now it almost feels like he's the secondary IGL of this team, and sometimes then you're playing so much by the book because you're trying to make sure that everything's outlined so correctly. I would like him to be a little bit more wild, a little bit more aggressive versus a team like Falcons, because you need to have an X factor when their whole team is filled with X factors. So for him right now, obviously tons of pressure. He hasn't really stepped into this major with the exception of the most previous map, and I'd say 1 versus Spirit. So if he's able to at least tie the series for his own lineup to get the Hungarian crowd something excited about, that would just mean the world for him and to give them confidence in the series.
Does m0NESY show up this map?
I think so. You know, I think
Definitely.
his last time he played Inferno T-side, I saw him in Hong Kong as well. He did a fantastic job, as we spoke about. Had a great tournament, both with the rifle and with the AWP, so I can't see a reason as to why he wouldn't show up. But I am curious to see how Falcons is going to approach this. Last time around, it was a third place decider. One would argue that it didn't mean too much, so I think we're going to get a different dynamic in this game. We're going to get a m0NESY that has more than 0 ADR in the first half on the T-side, and that should change things quite a lot.
I'm most excited about Kyosuke in this one because I feel like every single tournament we're watching this guy play, he's getting a little bit smarter, but he's staying ever so cracked. He's just constantly in 50-50 duels, making it look like he's the one that's advantaged. The way he's positioning himself, the speed, the time to kill is so absurd. And it feels like this is the next generation of aimer that we're getting. Falcons knew that. That's why they went big on him. That's why they just maybe threw away some in terms of team dynamics to try to move NiKo away from the star roles. If he's able to lock in this playoff position for Falcons here, I mean, this guy's growing up before our very eyes.
So before we get into this, I just want to remind you, if you're watching at home, that you have an opportunity to win. If you want a blacklight chair, all you need to do is do !blacklight_chair. I've seen some of you missing the underscore. Get it right, okay? You heard me. !blacklight_chair. You can win a chair. It's on all of our English streams, and you can enter on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube as well. So make sure you do that because you can win a prize. Really quickly, fan sentiment for me when I chat to people in the audience here, they don't seem too concerned about this result because they feel like both of these teams will be in the playoffs anyway.
Sure.
Safe place to play, or a little bit dangerous? Because you can never say never. There's always that one upset at the major.
I mean, I wouldn't like to be in a 2-2 scenario if I were either Falcons or Mouse. But yes, regardless of who they face tomorrow, they will be the favorite, right? They are one of the teams that you had coming into this major being a title contender. Falcons more so as of late with the way they've been playing. Obviously second in Hong Kong, pushed Furia in the final, and have been looking better and better from tournament to tournament. And you can never discredit the fact that Mouse always finds a way into the quarterfinals, into the semifinals. So regardless of what happens in this game and on this next map, I still see them as favorites tomorrow, but I wouldn't want to be in a 2-2 scenario. That's pressure.
The thing is, I don't want to be favorites tomorrow against a team I know I'm better than. If I'm Mouse, I want to beat a team that I haven't been beating. Give me some confidence going into the playoffs. Because right now, there's a big three for me. It's Falcons, it's Furia, it's Vitality. Mouse is not in that three, but if they're able to take down Falcons here, then we can start a conversation.
It's time, gents. We're getting ready now. Mouse up against Falcons. Of course, Falcons took their map pick. Mouse now has the opportunity to equalize. Scrawny, Launders, how is this going to play out?
Oh, Sam, your guess is as good as mine, but I can't help but feel like if I'm putting myself in Mouse's shoes, you've got a burden in that you cannot defeat Falcons this season. You had them against the ropes in the first map. Everything just comes crumbling down around you. Can't help but feel like Falcons may be stepping over top of Mouse's little body just one more time this year.
Yeah, I mean, even though it wasn't their map pick, it was such a big opportunity, and they won both pistols, like the lead, everything. They set it up so nicely, and I don't even think Falcons were really pushed that hard when it came to that CT side.
No, not in that streak of rounds they found. You know, silver lining, Mouse, obviously, it's always Inferno, and the 4 times they've played Falcons this season, 3 of those go the way of Mouse, 1 of them the way of Falcons. And this is also the map that's had the biggest blowouts to the Mouse favor. So, let's let them do the talking, shall we? Already
That's
total short
good.
control, already A-site wrap, but that gap on smoke. They weren't ready for it. So Nico makes the most of it, establishes a man advantage. Torzy already hears this fast flank coming down from the B site. Will he anticipate a third? Yes, insta headshot onto Kixan. You've got m0NESY in a tough spot. He sends his teammate back towards Boiler to deal with it. And so m0NESY this whole time's just kept his eyes on the prize. That's the bomb site. Jimmy, concerned about the potential apartment's flank. Beretta's point blank goes down. And now Kyosuke in the clutch. Dodges the apartment's player, but a fresh mag needed. Pressure back applied. And he's going to be cleaned out. 3 for 3 on the pistols are Mouse.
And that's going to be a nice stat if they win. So obviously, you never turn down a good start. Here's another one for Mouse. Very nice round out of, I think, Torzy, because he heard 2 players coming fast on the flank. The third guy was thinking he was going to creep up, walking slowly and guarantee this trade, but Torzy didn't get tunnel vision. And again, they know who they're playing against. There are going to be tendencies that will win this game for one team. So much better than a demo, the live head-to-heads.
Just don't fall victim to any shenanigans. Don't let yourself die to the single MP9. Death started debating the very unique type of pressure that Mouse and Torzy will start to feel playing in front of the home crowd. 2-0 start makes you think that you've realized your dreams, but everybody knows the folly of the 2-0 to 2-3 journey. God forbid that's Torzy's story here in Budapest.
Looking like a good move here. I mean, they immediately called the bluff. Falcons tried to block to trick them, but that won't work. TeSS, chance to get some damage in. They might be a little concerned not having got that kill. But no, they're going to trust themselves.
Wrap around the arch side with the smokes up. This is a whole lot of threat for TeSS to have to deal with, and he gets caught even trying to just clamber over the wall. So he'll go down with nothing. Roland's Mac 10 makes a bit more money, and also just a bit more confidence. Mouse, you know, you trust yourself to go for that full-blown hit, and your trust was well-founded. Completely empty site barring TeSS over towards Pit, and a great way to start to grow the funds early on. I mean, this earns Mouse a pistol, the conversion, a bonus round, as they'll come into the next one still with Mac 10s.
My mind's still on Mirage a little bit with the comeback, because again, it's not like Falcons did nothing wrong. They did exactly what they needed to do. A lot of their players, like this was highlighted by Maui. m0NESY started to get his op kills at the end, but throughout had his rifle frags. But they weren't adequately tested, I feel like. There was so much A play, there was so much the exact same timings on every hit that came towards the A site. They didn't really do anything except pushed A ramp a couple of times. Like, were MOUZ mentally a little weaker than they actually appeared by the scores in that game? That's what I'm trying to figure out. They failed to close the game. It didn't look like they choked it. You know, Falcons, they played well and earned all those rounds, but I just don't know if they were tested enough. And I thought if mentality was going to be a problem, it was going to be more of a problem for Falcons in a game like this. Because, you know, it's not elimination today, but nobody knows what happens tomorrow. You don't know what matchup you're going to get. You just don't want to let it go there. You want to have the longest break before playoffs. You want to take the win versus an opponent that you know you can beat. And so, you know, with the pistols in place and the good start and everything, like, how much did MOUZ put into that? How much of it was mental?
It's a map loss. I'm not trying to sound like a MOUZ stan, but it still feels like you've got things to be proud of, even though you lost the first map. You know, hang on to what worked, and just hope that you crack through the defensive Falcons. You know, a nice stomp here in the second map of the series, your pick. That's something that could damn well still be on the cards. And there's that question. You know, we saw great things from m0NESY, but the desk did a good job of highlighting that in their last matchup when Inferno fell the way of MOUZ, m0NESY was a non-factor. There's a question as to whether he takes that success of Mirage and applies it here again in the second map. Because there's a question as to whether he'll apply his success throughout Budapest.
Well, this play will actually go towards the very stacked A site.
MP957 and a lot of potential.
And they're just far back enough to make this a little weird.
Insta-kill for m0NESY. Peeks wide for a second. Spinks will hit them both with a MAC-10. Give it a little jump. And you'll try to just follow suit. But again, stack bomb site. Oh, insta-kill from both. NiKo with another. And TeSeS hits the headshot. Double Deagle. Falcons send MOUZ's head spinning.
That's the perfect kill, the perfect setup at the sickles right there. The two Deagles covering each other. Didn't even need to use that crossfire entirely. And that's the other thing. If you measure up X Factor on Mirage, it was all Falcons overall. And it didn't even take that much. Again, like no big clutches or anything like that, but it was like m0NESY's 4K retake on B, NiKo's A-holes and his 3Ks and his 2Ks here and there. I think the little bit that came back was Xertion on the pistol versus NiKo.
There's a point in this game where our official partners' odds were dead even, no longer the case. Setting Banana ablaze. And Kixan happy to slide out as the fire fades, but the flashes ring out. Oh, he got the dink!
That's incredible.
And then easily finishes off Xertion, who thought he could just press his way past that spray down, but Kixan commits to the mag dump.
Man, he couldn't even see his hands. I don't know how he got that second kill.
Just a little Falcons X Factor.
Okay.
Jimmy gives something over for Falcons to consider.
We've got a theme this round. Spray and pray.
NiKo, because Jimmy was up in that apartment, should anticipate somebody there.
CTs have a very strong map because they're trusting m0NESY. He has the op over on B. If they walk up, you know, he gets a free op kill.
Here comes NiKo. Oh, and Kixan, both dead on both sides of the brackets.
Entire A site's dead.
Everybody walks into that. We get that push from Jimmy out through the apartments. MOUZ just sat there and waited.
That's kind of a sick read.
I don't feel like we've really seen Falcons give over moments like that.
The only reason they pushed is because they didn't want to leave m0NESY alone for too long. If the lay B pop, then they have to have some info. Otherwise, they're just going for a slow rotation back. He can't go for this clutch. There's no way.
Just walks away from this. So MOUZ, sit back and allow that one to happen. God damn, that all comes off of the Jimmy spam through the smoke on the balcony, and then they just sit and wait.
Such a good call, actually. Instead of MOUZ thinking they're pressured to make the move, they leave A site quite quiet, and they think Falcons are going to free re-clear this and that it's actually a walk up towards m0NESY, because as the time gets that low, you can't just go from the middle of mid and then exec to the A site. There's some things that have to fall into place, whether it's your flash, players getting to the end of halls. That takes a little more time than turning the half wall on B and just running. So just a great call here for MOUZ.
This is Jimmy, baby.
I mean, I'm glad they got this one back after Kixan's 2K on B.
Catching TeSeS the moment he jumps up. There's that Torji kill that we don't end up seeing. And Spinks head on a swivel. He's the guy to double down there. By nature of the round win, Falcons found still money to play, obviously. You can thank your Desert Eagles for that one. Mao's coming at Banana immediately over the half wall with the boost. Kyosuke, right click.
Ooh, gotta disable that.
Doesn't have the setting disabled. Challenge still, and yet because there's 2 and 3 players in position, Falcons' recovery is immediate. Oh, they thought they were gonna be able to run right through it, and Falcons will give them something to think about.
It wasn't a mouse jump, but it was still a mechanical error, not something you normally see from Kyosuke.
Yeah, not something you see at all in CS2, because that's when they added the setting to disable the remove silencer option, so.
You know, maybe he likes to have the option.
He's trying to flex with that USP again, I bet. You got to keep it on if you're trying to go for style points.
Right.
And he strikes me as the kind of guy that would.
Everyone wants to be simple, but it's just not that easy.
Awkward. It's also awkward, though, that Mao's try to barrel through that smoke and have to stomach 2 deaths. It was a strong 5v4 moment. Again, we're going to get Falcons with 2 defenders inside this A site. The changeup is that Monacy's here, right? Previously, it was the rifles. Previously, it was the CTs to take that step forward. But at 30 seconds, Mao's are going to remain clumped. And as they do move forward, Monacy actually peels back, playing sight instead.
Tesses long range with a FAMAS. Right. Sometimes you'll get a moment out of him, but...
They're so worried about the walk-up, and now that grenade, it's going to announce their intention. Monacy's just got to go into the back of the site and hope he hits these shots, which of course he will. The first one at least. Torsi's going to pressure him into the back corner. Bomb plant will be huge here. Little bit of money to be made, and he's not going to get away with his life. He knew it. Commits to the bomb plant. Gives Mao's a little bit of extra bang for their buck, but it's a Falcons' second round win.
Crazy we get that moment from Kyosuke and they still end up 2-1 in those trades. Another good start for Falcons. This time better close. So we got a good mix of, you know, openings out of Falcons, responses from Mao's. Just never know when you need that silencer off.
Not a bad 4v5
just
recovery.
Needed 4 more seconds and that would have been fine.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Met by smoke. Monacy wants over this. Not a fun start to the round for Xertion, already sitting on 50. Jimmy's going to very quickly take control of apartments.
Well, we saw from Falcons last map. They know how to win the right rounds. This is going to be very expensive for Mouse.
True, man. Not all rounds are equal. Kyosuke. Yeah, easy does it on the finishing of Xertion.
That 2's pretty good. One guy here and B, how fast they're going to go.
Another nade that Mao's have to stomach. Kicksan's got the push coming his way. All while Jimmy's just still floating around in middle. At the minute mark, Kicksan pops up. He's gonna kill Spinks. Dropped empty-handed.
I can't help but feel those flashes weren't actually helping right there. Stuck up on oranges.
That smoke does actually give Torsi a chance to plant. I mean, he's gonna use the column of the fountain to give cover towards Coffin. Insta headshot here for Torsi. Sends a couple bullets through the smoke, but no contact on what is Monacy's op on the other side of that. You've got Jimmy trying to inch closer. CT's clearing the corners of Banana, but Jimmy just missed his timing. And so as he gets over towards that pit side, Tesses still encroaching slowly, and he'll get the better of Jimmy. Torsi blindsides 2! Oh!
That's a tornado!
From the top of sight, he spins their heads right round.
And that's one more clutch, by the way. If you missed the last ones, here's the best one.
Showing that Monacy's not the only opera who can swing that rifle. Nice snap over to Tesses. 4 kills on the round. Huge clutch. And a very critical one. We said that, you know, it's about winning the right rounds. Well, we go now back and forth 5 times, non-consecutive round wins. This is keeping Falcons' CT side on the ropes.
Yeah, that's a game saver. Cyclone goes around to thank everybody for that, especially Torsi. Oh, that would have been expensive and a great chance for Falcons. turned sour. Money is crazy right here, even for both sides.
It's fine. Guys, listen. Just to recap a little bit what they've done. Just take a breather here.
Gotta shrug it off.
I mean, Falcons no stranger to winning rounds like that themselves this map. You've got to know you go 1 for 1. Little X factor on both sides here. Counter-Strike's entertaining. 6 rounds into Inferno. m0NESY floating around in the apartments. Gonna find that opening kill. Jimmy has really had free reign of the apartments for the most part. Not this time. Oh, he gets away with it. Smoke goes up. Kyosuke can't manage to get the trade, but he'll find the lineup. Brolin's head popped through that smoke. Man advantage goes back to Falcons.
Yeah, second servings works out for him.
TeSeS taking steps back away from apartments. A double up here on Arch side for Falcons as smoke begins to fade. MOUZ are not far off. This map goes silent. Xerxin takes control of the apartments, makes sure that that push m0NESY started is gone, right? So you've got space over.
Kyosuke's kill just puts him in such an amazing spot right here. I mean, they have Cubby. It's so late now. The mollies, there's down to Xerxin if they want to use it. But he's up here in halls.
If he spots anything on short side, you think they're going to go for this brackets peak. They'll step forward. Oh, but Torshi wins the duel.
Okay, walked into that at the right moment.
That's a big head-to-head.
They also know one more was here on Arch, and they take him out.
Spinks blasted. TeSeS at bat. Galil is all that stands between MOUZ and this bomb site, and he'll get the better of Torshi. Snaps it up, and another challenge. Spinks is killed. Loses 2 pieces on the Arch side and does it all his own.
Oh, what a response out of TeSeS. I was thinking that last round was a great chance for Falcons because the money was a little shaky for MOUZ. For MOUZ, they just needed to survive. Now, they come into this round. Falcons had a pretty decent buy. TeSeS has made up for what has gone wrong inside of brackets many rounds now. It's crazy how nicely TeSeS fits into this lineup. It feels like Stare on Astralis. Sometimes he's the one who takes all the shine. Even if when you look at this lineup, you wouldn't have expected him to fit into it.
Trying to just flash pop out through brackets. MOUZ again just going to try to crank that tempo. m0NESY happy to step up to the challenge. Second shot confirmed.
He's nice.
Thinking about a third because he knows that MOUZ wouldn't have just come at this with 2. So numbers nearby and he knows it. Trying to find position in the bomb site to dodge this double peek. Missed shot finally on a m0NESY. Now the pressure's on, but TeSeS is going to collect, and Nico gets that last one. Well done, Falcons. Finally, we've got 2 rounds back to back.
And m0NESY with op kills early in the game. He's feeling himself. Now, when you know you got a guy like TeSeS in pit right now, I think you have a lot of freedom.
11-4. Nico on a fast rotation was the emergency protocol so that TeSeS didn't have to get another 3K.
Nice!
m0NESY also to perfection. You know, misses that 3rd chance, but his timing and his reposition, it was everything you could ask for. This is going to send MOUZ back into the spawn, reading their notes, looking for the solution, but I don't know if you can write that down. You got to step up.
Yeah, they didn't build the momentum off the Torshi clutch that they really, that it deserved and that they needed to, because what a clutch means is that you win with 1 player alive. You were teetering even off that win. They had a responsibility to help him, find some leverage. The only one not reading notes.
Looks like Simple's hotel room. Hey, whoa. Not the bust. Jimmy just taking his frustrations out on inanimate objects. You should pick on someone your own size. Falcons leaning back and allowing you to take all the time in the world. So MOUZ have had their powwow. They've had to accept the last 2 rounds both go Falcons, neither of which with a bomb plant. Shouldn't be finding anything here. Not a kill and not the plant. But a reload over towards the pit. Yeah, no possibility whatsoever for Mao's. Bloodbath as they finally get to that A-bomb site. Let's hope their talk comes out with a solution.
Wasn't likely, but no kills, no plant, lots of money for Falcons. They win the right rounds. The CT side has bounced back hard. They've got some problems. It's kind of crazy. They've got some problems inside. Even those rounds they lost inside of brackets, they were up material. They had good players in good spots. They double pushed. It's not like they peaked one at a time. Now, maybe they could have spaced a little bit better, but they had 3 people in a crossfire trying to get a kill.
All right, m0NESY feeling it. Trying to come right at Mao's after they've had a chance to collect their thoughts with the aggressive mid-peak, but it nets him nothing. Certainly will scare Mao's though, and then a nice banked frag off of the mid wall is going to deal with Jimmy.
And they're trying to shut them down for trying to turn up the tempo. It's been a few slower positions here for Mao's. I think partly because Falcons get the kill early and then they're forced to hold back a little bit. But I mean, they've got this deep smoke on B. If this isn't respected by Mao's at some point, it has to be.
Waiting for this peek out, but the apartments push could blindside it. It's covered, and now with Nico dead, that gets m0NESY off his angle. Look how instantly he's got to deal with the Balk instead. And that's going to open the door for the short push to come through. Tesses can't stop the first one crossing to the box. m0NESY goes down with nothing.
Okay.
Nicely done here for Mao's, cutting through that setup with clinical executions. I mean, that pop onto Nico frazzled everything else on A for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's not often you see the apartments guy get the first pick off just dry, right out of holes. It's a great kill from Spinks. We wanted a little bit more from him back on Mirage. We were wondering when he was going to get started. They had that lead the whole time, so it never felt like a problem. But his impact has been so important. And this one's a little different. It's a little faster. It's also toward this pretty A-centric T-half so far. And I think that's partially because the game plan's been changed and they lose players at car. They come back to brackets, lost more success over there.
Right, right.
Terrorists win. Cyclone says nothing to be too excited about yet.
I think the nature of the Mirage comeback just reminds you there's no celebration for Mao's until that 13th is secured. And even then, it's map 3 where this series ends if Mao's are truly going to do this. Making use of Sonic's timeout, Cyclone in.
If you want to look at the last map as a free map, when's the last, Mao's don't beat Falcons already. How many times can they give up a free map?
Yeah. It's the thing too, you know, Mirage as a pick for Falcons was this new evolution since Chengdu. Mao was expecting it maybe with the plans, but not able to stop it. You know, we talk about how Mao's do generally extend the series for the most part. The majority of the, you know, head-to-heads in this season have been extended to that third, and maybe they're in the process of doing that again, but it was a soul-crushing type of defeat that went down on Mirage. Felt like you had that game in the bag.
That was a bitter finish. Did not even have an overtime to speak of. A perfect comeback.
That's the kind of comeback that just reminds Falcons, yeah, we always win this head-to-head. They'll keep trudging along here on the CT side of Inferno. That one-off of the last round followed up by Mao's. You know, it was 3 consecutive for Falcons without even a bomb plant, so they'll be trying to tap back into that kind of a dominant round win. And they'll do so by yet again flushing Mao's away from Banana. You said it, A-centric. Here we go again. At least that's what this looks like momentarily. Brolin leaving bomb at the bottom of middle as him and Zershin are going to go carve a path back towards Banana.
You always want to have at least car before you make a final choice. You just don't want to run into a 4-1 stack on A. So smoke comes down in CT. Bomb's still back. And they do establish. The problem is they don't actually pull a rotation.
Falcons remain 3 strong.
I mean, Nico's over here.
Right.
They're really expecting it to come towards A.
And, you know, very different setup to the one round ago that worked for Mao's. Instead, you don't have Nico floating outside of Library, but m0NESY picking up Arch side. And we've already seen his critical shots on Arch side land.
Any more time and maybe m0NESY starts to second guess this. We'll We'll see.
We'll see how much pressure comes up lane. We'll see if TeSeS dies immediately.
Bomb spotted.
If he doesn't, m0NESY starting to take a look from both ends, but he'll go back and deal with the only player who was pushing up Arch, then deals with Brolin. Oh, missed chance there. Pressure comes out, still m0NESY delivers. It's a triple kill from him. Torji inside of the bomb site will get away with this plant. Man advantage for the retake, and m0NESY on for an ace as he hunts down that pit player just barely. Can't see him yet. That pallet blocks as Jimmy just tucks his head down, and now time is starting to tick off the clock. Falcons retake, much needed.
It's one of two spotted. It really comes down to Torji.
Playing off of a single flashbang here in the hands of m0NESY. At any moment that op's not up, then the swings can come out. You catch him using the last piece of util. Now Torzi's chance to respond. Trying to go 3 for 3 versus m0NESY with the op. Kyosuke can't pop the headshot. Jimmy gonna find it.
These guys
Man
are
disadvantage post-plant win here for MOUZ.
Wow, feels like that's happening every round. They're able to take the A site. I mean, this one is 5 versus 3, but the fact that m0NESY gets all those kills and they still can't deliver. They even have Nico make a cameo over on the A site, just as a little extra bit of insurance. The only thing that was really missing, the final failsafe, is a half rotation from the B player to make it kind of like a 4A setup. But again, I mean, with the way TeSeS has been playing and Nico helping out, you think that's not going to fail at all.
Big nade damage for Brolin to have to deal with in round 12.
This has been a different kind of inferno. Lots of A plays, lots of low number wins.
You can tell still that the pressure sits on MOUZ's shoulders. I mean, look how solemn they look after that 2v3 post plant. At the start of this game, when they were winning rounds, there was pop-offs, there was reasons to cheer. And this is all business for the moment from MOUZ. I think Mirage certainly still left a sting. But we're looking at now back-to-back successful individual endeavors from Torji.
This should be a good equalizing round here for MOUZ. I mean, they don't have Falcons on the map control nor the nades to take it. They're taking a risk here inside of middle. But how often have MOUZ called themselves in a stack? One out of the 2 anti-eco rounds. Bomb still in the right spot. No kits in play here for Falcons. Oh, but they get a kill. Ooh, they get a kill under a minute as well, and now Nico's going to start moving around.
Pop-up, though, from Spinks from underground.
But now they have to go B. They know. CTs are going to know it's B.
Ahead of the smoke as well as Kixan. Molly's come over for second orange. Good duel.
This is wise for m0NESY. He's not peeking into mid. He's chilling.
And all he's got to this bomb is to lean back against the porch side. Oh, best hit out of Spinks. Not only finding that kill from underground, but then the follow-up entry.
What a
and
kill.
It's a fast move with a Molotov onto the library. TeSeS goes for a desperate angle, and Torji's going to send that warning shot right through the door.
Retakes haven't been going so well. This one's needed.
Missed chance as that exit comes out. Falcons feeling frisky. Already start to work it forward. Torji finds his
He has
first.
to reload.
And as that reload comes through, it's going to be Spinks to collect his third frag. Thurshin out from pit. And yet again, a successful first half here for MOUZ. 7-5 on the attack. Maus showing us some serious fighting spirit. Only 3 successful opening duels throughout that T-side, and yet they walk away with 7 rounds. And on top of that, the back and forth forced by victories ended up going Falcons' way. The first to secure consecutive rounds, it felt like they would run away with that. But again, fighting spirit is what Maus are bringing to the table in this game of Inferno.
They've done what they need to. I mean, they have a lot of good stats on this map. They are very good on pistol rounds. They're very good on CT side, far better than even they are on T. So the right things are in place. The only thing that can catch up with them is the circumstances at this point. Same thing as for Mirage. They had a lead there.
3 for 3 in pistol round wins are Maus.
You keep winning those pistols, I promise you get a map.
Scary one for Maus is they need 2 maps now. Mirage is a could-have-been moment.
You might need 5, you might need 6 pistols. You'll win a map, though, eventually.
Extra pair of Berettas sitting inside of that bomb site. Ooh. Gonna try to bait him in with a little USP. Xerxin get to grab him. Ooh. Yeah, come get it. Spinks here to try to pop ahead. Crosshair's low, but ready for the crouch. Yeah, almost got his chance. Off of the fountain pillars, Xerxin tries to swing out. He'll find 1 and 2 and a third. Just
grinder.
Guns down the attack out of Falcons. This is going to be the 4th successful pistol round for Maus. Barring a world-class TeSeS
Yeah, set this up, Connor.
Set this up? All right.
1v4 retake.
Well, you see, Jimmy just looked behind him, and so operating within the timing is TeSeS right now. He's going to one-tap Jimmy out of the round as CT's push through that... No, never mind. He's been found, and they're all going to try to come at him. They'll gun him down for surviving, and 4 successful pistols now for Maus.
Yeah, I mean, just convert, and then it should just be smooth sailing. Like the definition of autopilot to play CT. Inferno for this team.
Not a bad reward here for Xerxin.
The flash timing's beautiful. You see on the screen below you, 2 players blind. Rollins hits everything, and Dooley's best thing to have in this spot.
That is fucking sick call, bro. Fucking sick call.
Ooh, giving credit there to Cyclone for the call on the pistol. Not every day you get to see that. Cyclone, one of those coaches that used to also compete in CSGO.
And he was very good, actually. Relatively speaking, of course. He was like the one coach that stood in that it didn't feel like it was a coach.
Yeah, him and Gary.
Yeah, right. Gary on Ancient.
Desert Eagle here for Nico to try to work with. We go to a minute 10 and we get the 4 players stack up in the apartments met by smoke. What's going to stop them? It's meant to just be Jimmy. Just Jimmy, they said. Flash finds its mark, and that's a lot of free space offered over to Falcons. The mid-hold goes well. Jimmy tries to snap up, and he's got support because the 1 mid-frag is immediate. It's then 3 players staring up towards the balcony, so no dice for Falcons. 9-5, the Maus lead. Is it another insurmountable challenge, or do Falcons pull it off again?
You know, Falcons are the team with hope. Maus are the team, you know, with logic right now. Like they have the lead, they have everything in place. Okay, that's fine. But they just have to close.
Yeah. Sounds so easy. Nade comes flying down at them. Nico gonna take his task towards Banana. Oh, well placed.
So another one, that's gonna be good too. Oh, a little far.
Yeah, 85 damage off the first one. Then the sudden pop out through that smoke. They're gonna try to chase him. Brolin dunks on Modesty. Modesty never even gets a chance to shoot this round.
It's an amazing feeling when you don't have to see anybody. You just get that util in.
Oh, careful.
Wait, and TeSeS gets a kill back too. It's 4v3 now all of a sudden. Careful.
Push out towards the brackets works out. You've got Jimmy on the angle for the recovery. He'll be able to slot into the site. And he knows this threat's over towards Library. Gives himself a flash. And while he eats a bit of it, he's just doing a good job delaying, getting that crosshair back over the box. Kyosuke popped. And now Nico trying to move forward with Kicksand by him. This 2v1 on the bomb site's alive. Kicksan with the drive-by, insta headshot. Brolin's got the blind side. Misses timing by a mere moment, and yet still stays silent. So Kicksan's clutch queued up from 2 to the 3rd, spots the 4th, and with Zershin going silent, he's lost them in the smoke. Kicksan gets killed. Mouse secure their 10.
Oh, very nice close right there. Amazing out of Jimmy. The fact that he gets Kioske flanking him, gets the first kill. Only guy on A. Never needs help. We've seen so many rounds. Falcons had the man advantage. This one, it comes in the mid round. Like they get 2 kills back out of nowhere. But in all these spots where it seems like Mouse are in a bad spot, they overcome. We're in Galil territory for Falcons if they want to buy.
Gonna talk it over first. Is that to calculate? Yeah, there's money being tossed around here. AK-47 for Nico, Galil on Monacy, pistols for the rest. They crunch the numbers. They keep a bit of surplus. Oh, they actually sold back. They sold back. They got rid of the Galil and grabbed a 4th pistol instead. This is Falcons. There was a bit of uncertainty here in the purchase, but they do come into the round with that 1 AK for Nico.
Guys, keep it up. Keep it up. They took time out. They're fucking shaking, boys. Fucking noobs.
Talk your shit, Jimmy.
Yeah, after he put that up, man, he was probably rock hard. What a hold.
I don't think Noobs would have made that comeback on Mirage, though. It's fighting words with a 5-round lead. But you better keep up that spirit if Falcons find a way to put you on your ass with just this single AK. You know, but I haven't seen like timidness out of Mouse. Still happy to find, you know, apply pressure, go for the util.
Just have such a good Inferno, right? Yeah.
It is. It's something they can bank on. They do so in this series, in this head-to-head rather. 5th time they've played Inferno this season. It'd be the 4th victory for Mouse.
Well, they've shown a little bit of Kicksan's little bit of presence. It might be slightly unnerving here for Mouse. Torsi's coming on over. And these smokes, yeah, that wouldn't do much, except they're actually going to use them. I mean, they're coming back to the A site. And Torsi's just going to meet him here, so. Should be fine for Mouse.
Say should be. We'll see what Spinks can get. Ah, perfect timing is what Spinks gets. Couple of backs turn. He hears that rush coming at him. They're going to have to go real deep to get him out of here. Flashbang meant to get him out, but he swings in, knows that he was time limited. Torsi collects Nico towards the short side. Monacy's M4 grabbed, and time's going to expire. Cannot afford to die here.
Yeah, he's.
And it looks like he'll get away with it. A little awkward towards the end.
This is kind of silly. I mean, they had Kicksan.
He saves.
Yeah, Kicksan comes and tries to peek in the middle, but they throw the arch wrap smokes twice. Actually, there's 4 smokes to do this, but both times they do it, there's arch players. Like all they did was see that this was clearly a fake, and then the second time there's someone sitting in cubby, obviously Spinks, and he takes the timing because it's so late into the round. So Falcons, I don't think were as tricky as they thought they were. They didn't get the rotations they were looking for. Every time they picked the site, Torsi was right back there too. So not much to go over here for Falcons, and now we're at the point of the game where they're very grateful they won Mirage.
Torsi with a minute gap into apps. Got a couple players up here, though. This is definitely something for Torsi to find. Yeah.
Nice shot.
Doesn't need to see a lot. Off of the sliver. Zershin over the smoke. Catches another one, and an uncomfortable 3v5 about to unfold here for the Falcons. Their presence is found into the short side. Tesses tries the duel with Pit. And in anticipation of that smoke push, he keeps looking towards Spinks, but Spinks opts not to give away any kind of kill.
Yeah, does he need to?
No, it would be a shame if he were to die, but that Molotov's gonna force his fight in a moment. Flashbang comes out to save him, and he does get away. Not unscathed, but still 40 health to try to hold off on Arch.
I mean, him being alive here means Brolin has a lot more freedom. And this play is going to come back to be. Late smoke is annoying here for Falcons, but they're going to get comfortable in front of it. It's going to be time to go in this direction. And they've come for the final re-clear on mid. Falcons don't move soon, it's just over.
Now majority here in front of this execute.
Molly too.
That's gonna hurt, man. 20-second incendiary. Somebody's going through it on fire.
Surely.
They're gonna try to trudge through. Xertion ready to receive. Monacy's got the answer. A little space created, but it's only a little. And there's a lot of Maus on the other side of that CT smoke. So they'll come barreling through with conviction. And we are on the brink of pushing this series over to Nuke.
I mean, it was a quad play. They actually did read where Xertion was gonna go and they mollied him. So there's one moment where they could have got that kill, but he was just nasty this whole round. Perfect timing on the smoke, used his molly. Great shot here from Torzy. It's just way too comfortable for most of the round here for Maus. They make Inferno look so easy.
There's a lot of conversation as to whether Monacy would be bringing the fight to Inferno. Kyosuke, 4 kills is a non-factor as far as Maus are concerned. And here we get this push in through the mid play. Torzy's just gonna blast.
He's got a shotgun.
But we've still got that challenge wrapping around Arch in the apartments. It momentarily belonged to Tessas. Second layer catches him off. Brolin's trading places. Kyosuke goes through. And while Nico kills Torzy, they still don't know about this Galil, so that'll catch them off, but he doesn't have the bomb. Brolin's gonna best him. Monacy's got the rebuttal back in this much-needed 1v2.
Yeah, play it how you want, Brolin. Bomb is in your possession. Monacy, how are you gonna figure this out?
Inferno on the line. Fakes the drop. Comes back at it, but CT too far off. Brolin starting to step forward. Oh, he's watching mid! And that's where Monacy strikes. A clutch for the road. A 6th round of the board. Is this, much like Mirage, now Falcons' chance to come back?
Just, I feel like too much depth has been shown already in both halves now for Maus, whereas back on Mirage, there was no depth shown and it was an entire comeback. It's one clutch, 1v1 where they pick it up. And very aggressive, by the way, the most aggressive round we've seen out of Maus because they're trying to just keep it different. Still lots to prove here for Falcons. And with the utility doing half the job.
Xertion's got bodies climbing over, free frag. And then Spinks collects. Kyosuke denied at a 5-15 score. So Kixan somehow gonna have to muster together a 3 versus 5.
Their most important matchup versus Falcons. They could have 2-0'd this one. They could have.
And instead, Nuke waits in the wings. A map that Maus have never beat the Falcons on. Not this season. But that's the story of this head-to-head. Maus don't win this season. Does it change tonight to put Torzy into playoffs? I think this is the kind of second map that's going to get Maus's confidence right back where it needs to be. You know you could have had the 2-0, sure, but just focus forward. There's greener pastures on the other side of this 13th round win. Spinks tucked into the mid brackets. Oh, missed off shot, that's fine. Spinks has got it. And Spinks has had a lot of impact this time around on Arch. Rock solid stuff. As he'll put Kixan on ice and put Maus into map 3, no doubt. Monacy, it was a beautiful 1v2, but he will find nothing. Maus fighting spirit. And they are trying to do this for Torzy, trying to exceed expectations. Expectations set all season long that Falcons are simply better. But if they can be beat by Maus today, then we have another contender. Can they do it on Nuke? It's a big question and a hell of a challenge.
My name is Ole Fischer. I'm the performance manager / sports psychology expert for Mouse. I'm pretty good at helping people, trying to understand their problems and work with them on them. So sports psychology was something that I was looking into very early. 2020 it was, Mouse called me for an interview. Ever since then, I started working with them. To be completely honest, I didn't know too much about esports when I started. I'm very good at applying things that I learned onto other areas. And this is what I offered to Mouse, and I also told them I need roughly 3 months to get into it. I need to understand the language that the players are talking, not just the English barrier, but also about the in-game stuff. I got interested also in CS a lot. I found a passion there that I'm happy to pursue now as well. Usually when we're back home, we have individual talks with the players in the morning before their preparation for the actual practice. And they're sometimes about mental health, sometimes they're about personal stuff, and most of the times they're about performance optimization. Because there's this misperception that a lot of people have. We're not just there for solving problems, but we're actually there for enhancing. Then we have team sessions, of course, and team sessions is more about the team building aspect. We talk about communication, but also about the 3 foundations that usually high performance team have. One of them is that we share a common goal. Then we have a similar idea of values. And the third aspect is that the role distribution needs to be quite clear, and we quite often talk about that. The people are so young, they didn't have a big drop in their performance. Usually their careers goes 0 to 100 real quick. Then for them it doesn't make sense a lot to change something about their behavior. And that is something that I need to wait for a little bit for the window also where they're open for the work. Some of them are naturally, because their education allows it, they already know, okay, there's things that are beyond what I know, and for others it is not, so I wait for the window to work with them. So how I gain trust is usually that I let them be themselves and just try to understand them first of all. I'm not coming in and say like, hey, this and this I have to offer. I want to see who the person is and what he brings to the table for himself, what is important for him, what are his values. So I build trust first and foremost, and then I can start working. Right now the narrative has been a little bit that we not ready for the big stages, or that we are not ready for the finals and semi-finals and so on. I perceive it differently, and the team does as well. In the top 20, we're the 4th youngest team, if I'm correct. For us, it is more a journey, and we try to get everybody to a level where he's super confident about himself, and that he is able to always bring that to the table. I feel like I've succeeded in my job when people are able to give their best.
I peek it through. Flashing. B. Boom. In B.
First dead. One more force.
C1, 2 C1. Dead. I will not. Can be in city already, okay?
Give sound. I'm holding.
Shoot a smoke. I'm on a short. Can be out.
In.
I do smoke out.
Joker, heavy joker.
One pit. Default pit. Plant in RPK. Ready? 3,
Wait.
2, 1, send it.
The smoke.
Nice! Oh, you are so fucking good, man!
Just had a chance to talk with Zoning after this Inferno, and I spoke about what went wrong and what needs to happen to bring them back into the decider. I was told that they knew that Inferno is going to be in the map pool, and they're really not comfortable on the map, especially against Mouse. They knew it's going to be tough, especially with 2 pistols being lost, and the overall, like the flow of the game just wasn't paying, their dividends. What about the recovery for the 3rd map? They said that they just need to reset mentally, because it's going to be again their strong map, something they're more comfortable in, and hopefully we'll see a little bit better Falcons coming into 3rd.
You heard from Stico, they're obviously speaking to Zonic. Sounds like a bit of copium to me, Pim.
To me as well, to be completely honest, because I'll be honest, yes, Inferno have been a big part of conversation when it comes to Falcons map pool. We saw in Chengdu that they were struggling massively. They lost to Furia, they lost to Mouse in Chengdu. But then we saw in Hong Kong, Murray, they beat Vitality in a very close game, and then they absolutely smacked Furia on the map 13-3. So if you're Sonic and if you're Falcons, the last 2 games you played on Inferno, you beat Vitality, you beat Furia, arguably the 2 best teams in the world outside of yourself. So why should Inferno necessarily be a punish pick towards you coming in against Mouse? So yeah, I think it's a bit of a way of saying that, we don't take it too hard. We don't necessarily think that it's too bad of an issue or too big of an issue. We're going to continue focus on the 3rd map, but I do think that in the back of Sonic's mind right now, he was hoping that Inferno no longer was going to be a punish pick, which seemingly it still can be.
it still feels like one when you watch this game. I know that Zonic and probably anybody watching this would focus on the pistols, but even in the gun rounds, a lot of situations where Falcons had the advantage or they were in prime position and they were unable to close it out. And I would say that's off the back of a few of the Mouse players stepping it up. I wanted a little bit of X factor from some of their individuals. We actually got it. People like Torzy were able to step up. People like Exertion, people like Yimpat. That's not something you can say every single time that these two teams load up in the server, but on Inferno, especially in those late round situations, it was Mouse who were outplaying the Falcons.
Let's jump a bit more into that now. What exactly was Mouse doing right? We can start with that first half.
I think they were great in every single aspect of the game of Counter-Strike, to be completely honest. I think the way they approached it was, again, being very proactive, and I saw it in the first half, but even more so in the second half. When the game was still close, the way they shut down middle, the way they were playing their CT side was beautiful. The T side as well, Mari. When you're winning a 2v3 clutch like this, you're setting yourself off to a good start.
2v4 even, actually. I mean, the fact that Torzy got this is what Hungary needed. This is what Budapest needed, for Torzy to come in and have a huge just pop-off like that, when I would say map 1 did decently, but this map, he really put a mark on it.
I do love that, though, because the crowd here is mainly from Budapest, and you can tell how they get behind him every time he has a good time. Do you think he's had a bit of a crowd buff?
Yeah, I mean, maybe
he looked kind of nervous in the first few games. If I'm being completely real, like, he came into this series with, I'm pretty sure, beneath a 1.0 rating for the event thus far. So to see him at least do better versus Falcons, I mean, that's where it's really impressive. To see now it's like the hardest team, arguably, that he's facing off against. He then is elevating his level of play. That, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it's happening.
It's a double-edged sword. You know, obviously, you saw it the first day as well. He was smiling, enjoying it, you know, taking it all in. Does it help him on the server to perform better? Not necessarily per se, but we also saw in Austin that Torzy had this habit of sometimes, you know, missing out in the big moments. Maybe he's not playing up to his best. We saw in Austin that he was, you know, probably playing the worst tournament of his entire life. So I do feel like he is a player that is a little bit inconsistent in that regard, but what we've seen so far tonight, that's the Torzy that Mouse not only needs to win Falcons, but also need him in the playoff in order to be a contender to go all the way.
And obviously his mom's in the audience. The mom buff is real. He doesn't want to disappoint her. He's trying to play his best as he can.
It was good for Lake for most of the tournament.
For most of it works out. Okay, let's talk a bit about Falcons as well, though, because it was very often times where they had the man advantage, and yet they still couldn't convert rounds. Why was that?
I mean, part of the issue was the economy throughout that first half and the second, for that matter. Obviously, when you lose the pistol, you lose the conversion, you never really got rolling, and I think that's part of it. But I also do think Mao is right saying that Mouse were just the better team, even in the buy rounds, especially on the CT side. I like the way they were constantly poking towards Banana, doing utility damage, as you see right here, but also in middle. They had a lot of different mid setups where they would double punch in middle, where they would set up and bait for Spinks, and they did such a good job.
This round right here was an advantage for the Falcons. Sure, they lose the opening pick, but they bring it back. And Yimpat really just made a huge multi-frag right there. The fact that he was able to get two, and maybe Testis could have waited a little bit longer to crunch with Kyosuke, but the fact that the rotation was so quick, the fact that they were able to read the situation, we heard the comms on this one, the way they communicated for the 3-2-1 double swing, and maybe they didn't actually double peek him perfectly, but still they were able to overwhelm Kicksan in the bomb site, and that's what you want from Mouse. That's what you get from Mouse. I know I wanted to see a little bit of X factor from these players, but they do it almost within the confines of the system and then just throw that extra bit of flair into it. It's not like you're going to have Exertion or Torzy charging down mid, going for something that in practice they've never played. It's just that they're stepping up in these key late round moments.
If you were to try and define the type of Counter-Strike we just saw from Mouse, how would you define it?
That's a good and very broad question, I'll be honest. I think Mouse's strength always lays in that every single player has a role to play in every single round. For Spinks to work out, he needs to be set up by his teammates. He needs to be baited for, and that happens quite often. As I said, on the CT side, the amount of times that they had a mid setup where they would close down on middle, where they would bait for Spinks, where they would make it easy for him to get a couple of multi-kills, two players of Falcons looking the other way around. Well, yeah, it looks good on the scoreboard for Spinks, but it's always set up by a teammate. Whether that's through the manpower of the teammate or through utility, it does feel like Mouse is one cohesive unit, whereas if you look towards a team like Falcons, again, you have individuals, right? You have Modesty doing his own thing, you have sometimes Nico doing his own thing, and obviously there's team play involved in it, but to less extent, I'd say.
It's a united front for Mouse where it's just 4 stars that are all trying to accomplish a common goal on the Falcon side, but when it's Mouse, they're just so well oiled. I feel like when you watch the way that they want to break down a round, it always makes sense the way they're using utility, blocking, then stacking the other side. I feel like just looking at the radar is almost more enjoyable when you're watching the Maus, but then when you actually just watch the crosshairs, it's more enjoyable if we're watching Falcons.
You're talking about that cohesive unit, but then why can the cohesive unit just not beat Falcons on Nuke? Because I do believe this season, never been able to beat them. And that's where we're going next.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think Falcons, first and foremost, have shown time and time again that they play Nuke to a high level. Obviously, still one of the maps where Nico is also functional, where he's really feeling at home on the CT side. Him having to play that yard position, Kyusuke finding an awful lot of impact on ramp as well. And then you have Monesi as that third, lingering player that can just go inside, outside, wherever he wants. So I think the defense of Falcons, very, very strong. I also do think that that's where the limitations are coming towards Maus, right? We speak about why is it they can't win trophies? Why is it they're not winning the biggest tournaments out there, outside of the PGL event inclusion of poker? I think individually speaking, sometimes they fall a little bit. Sometimes they don't have enough firepower in order to rumble over a team like Falcons. On a map like Nuke, it's all about exertion. He's always involved in a hell of a lot of opening duels on towards Yard, creating space, creating chaos, but is exertion consistently better than Nico in that position? I wouldn't say so. Then you look towards who else can do it. Is Torsi consistently better than Monesi? Not really the case, so I feel like they're falling short in terms of the manpower, especially when Falcons are playing well.
When looking at Falcons too, I feel like when Maus draw it up, they feel like the start to finish of a round looks to be predictable, that these players should trade out that guy on the bomb site, that we should be able to take over this sort of space. But Falcons are just always throwing wrenches into the plans. The individuals are able to consistently upset expectation, whether that's Kyosuke getting a multi-frag at ramp or Nico actually just flanking them towards outside. And then I feel like even the rotations of Falcons are really good on this map. I feel like it's one of the few where they look like they're on top of what the opponents are doing almost every single time. And even when they're guessing, they have great reactions. I mean, they're going to be able to push. They're always fighting for a little bit more space. You don't usually just see them on their heels. And even if you do, I think a completely underrated aspect of Falcons' defense is that Kickstand and Tessus, sure, they're the weakest players on Falcons, but that's a fine A duo compared to some of the other elite teams in the world. If I look at, like, say, Chopper and Zwei, I'm taking Kickstand and Tessus 10 out of 10 times.
Maz has not been able to beat Falcons on Nuke. Does that change today?
I think there's a world where it does, and I think one of the reasons is Monesi not being up to par right now. You can't hide now. Monesi needs to pick up the AWP on the CT side, find impact. He can't continue to buy the rifle. So yeah, that could be the winning condition right here for Maus.
One map separates one of these teams from the playoffs. Let's find out who's making it to the arena.
One map, you're right, Sam, one grueling map, one hell of a task. Maus never able to do it on Nuke, never able to do it this season. You've got to exceed history here if you are Maus, but this is history in the making. We're in Hungary for the first time with a major. We've never had a Hungarian step forward on home soil like this. So there's either history ahead of us or, again, par for the course, Falcons smash this final map. Budapest, make a little noise.
Scream if you love Torji.
That one's coming with the 20K crowd. Does he get there, though? That's the question. Brolin finds the first kill. Free frag for Maus. Remember, 4 for 4 in the pistols. Torji, gonna tap one out. Kickstand right there with him. But the second layer here in Jimmy's gonna catch Falcons unprepared. And that's a bomb possession now for Jimmy to stand on top of. When all the pistols have already belonged to Maus, this 4v2 with bomb on the dirt has got to feel good. But it's Nico and Monesi. The synergy between these two is what kept them together. Right now, working independently of one another, and nobody to shoot at just yet. Nico slots into the single door side.
Can't find anything good. I mean, I feel like the CTs are actually playing this really well. The A site is open.
But you gotta grab bomb, and there's 2 CTs on top of it. I mean, I don't put it past Nico to pop their heads. First one's easy. Jimmy goes down, flank comes out from Secret. That's gonna keep the bomb on the dirt. Monesi, though, inside of the fence, insta-kill to Brolin. The Secret player still fires off, and Zershin's gonna get back into the kill feed. Another double for Zershin.
Nice shot, Zershin. So good on pistols. That was a cool bait. They try to get Monesi to run around the upper floor just to get the CTs that are sitting in control side to make a move, and they actually bite. But it's not enough to bring back an entire 2v4, not versus a team that has won every single pistol. Every single pistol so far. At some point, this is going to cause you to break, Falcons. It will be a focal point of the interview afterwards. It'll be a thought in your head when the match is over. This might be the moment history turns for Mouse if they play it well. But Jimmy takes a dink.
Tech 9 to the back of the head.
He's dead.
TSS just comes flying over top of the control panel. MP9 goes down.
Uh-oh.
This would be the first time that a force buy works immediately. Oh, it's a good spray from Xerxin, sure. But it's still man advantage for Falcons momentarily. Torji gets damaged. Brolin goes down. This is huge for Falcons.
Ooh, you never see Jimmy kind of fail in a position like that, but that quick dink as he was running away, that's all it took to make sure that he had no chance. He was so vulnerable. All these guns get toppled.
Just the biggest hiccup out of all of the starts we've seen so far.
And it does put an asterisk on winning every pistol because, you know, they got their conversions before. Sometimes it was 1, sometimes it was 2. But here is the first time that we're seeing in this series they don't get any.
That's 2 M4s given over. And again, when you've got it in the back of your mind, consider that you've just not beat them this season on Nuke, and now you give their T side a force buy victory after pistol.
They're incredible at Nuke, man.
Ouch.
I mean, Mouse are on a 3-map loss streak on this map, and they play Vitality twice, and Falcons are in there, so that makes sense. But for Falcons, like, this is the map you just don't want to have to face them on. They're so fierce.
Mouse are going to try to take a page out of the Falcons book. We had that back and forth at the start of Inferno.
It's like a map that best highlights each of their individual level on both sides. Like and I think we've got Nico back outside, right? That was one thing. But just the players that can swap in and out, who they've got playing every spot. Tassis is an anchor. Monacy as an op.
Taking a look at Ramp's got a couple of pistols in front of him. Spinks will give him something to think about. Chance for Spinks to pop up with a second because TSS is sticking around. Oh, another!
Okay.
Jimmy comes wide with the 5-7, and now Mauser starting to pull this off.
Yeah, that's theft. They stole this one back.
At least the first 2 steps towards the robbery. Jimmy's gonna move forward, grab that gun, pass it back. Him and Torji. Actually, no, it's offered over to Spinks instead. So Spinks on an AK, Jimmy on the M4, that scout in Xerxin's hands. And these Deagle shots land on both Kixan and Monacy as they'll just go sprinting down to that lower side again. Spinks sprays away, Kixan and Monacy both popped. Kyosuke, 1 versus 5. And he'll go ahead to catch Xerxin with a headshot. Fakes out the plant, just a moment here, goes whack into it, and down he goes. Jimmy's got it, Mouse have got it!
Damn, they stole that one with the ramp play. That's some beautiful work, obviously, with pistols. Interesting. They've just removed the asterisk.
Ooh.
They win the force back.
Spinks hitting him with the rare animation, too. Yeah. Style points to kick it off.
And it wasn't the $500 instant headshot kill. It was 2 dinks from Jimmy.
Official partner odds still to the Falcons' favor.
They didn't see that last round.
Again, it's just that daunting record on this map specifically that tells you Mouse have to exceed the past.
They have to go where no Mouse has gone before. They have to turn a page in their history in this head-to-head. I'm going to keep saying it when it matters the most. All season long, we've just been building up to this moment. That's all that matters.
You know, there's a talk about the bracket in the playoffs as well and how things will shake up and whether we get one of these like really stacked head-to-heads in a quarterfinal. If you can beat Falcons ahead of those playoffs matches, then you know you can do it, and that's going to give a lot of confidence to Mouse moving forward. This is the team that is truly their kryptonite. Monacy catching Xerxin with an instant entry. Spinks is back at it with another multi-frag. And those pistols try to charge through down towards site. Kyosuke grabs it. M4 for his troubles. Bomb to be planted back site. And as he gets flushed out, he tries the duel, but standing inside of the fire leads it to an easy kill for Torji. Vent frag can't be found. Mouse will stabilize.
Tries to freak him out by running into that fire for the fight. And, you know, we haven't had that moment from Kyosuke that shows us just how insane his individual level is. A couple of kills here and there that are good. He's definitely not been a liability, but you know how much more damage he can do, that he's capable of. But I think Maui pointed out that, like, he started to temper himself. I mean, he started to, like, evolve more into, a thoroughbred tier 1 player. I mean, very quickly, obviously. It's been a fast evolution for him, but slowing it down, not everything is about him. His debut on this team was literally him getting every kill, no one getting anything else.
Yep.
So it's definitely looking like a healthy transition.
This also has had some fall-off moments, though, in grand finals of Melbourne on a map. Here on Inferno as well was kind of a non-factor in this head-to-head, but that was just MOUZ also getting their dominant win.
Yeah, I mean, it's that conversation. We expect everybody to be as good as Donk instantly and for as long, and that's just
just
the one person that we can talk about that's done that.
Just be like Donk. Sounds so easy.
Yeah, this is looking great for MOUZ. They got themselves an eco. Falcons have had to come back in every half so far, right, because of the pistols. But they have found a way to do that. Like, they're always winning the correct rounds, so I like to put it. Round that's really expensive. That's always primered, though, by getting damage on rounds like this. You don't get the instant save afterwards without getting 2-3 kills in a position like this.
They also haven't had to wait until, they're super long into a half either to find some success. Like, they've kept MOUZ on their toes. They even won that back and forth affair with the force buys on Inferno, still not able to capitalize on the half beyond it. Really goes to show the fight that MOUZ are bringing to the table. But we expect that on Inferno. This is where things are different. But so far, MOUZ successful. 3-1 the lead. You've got the upgraded pistols to try to barrel through the smoke, trying to catch them with timing. And you're going to catch one. Torji pop, but Jimmy's got the triple spray down. And it's Nico a bit late to the party, executed instantly by Xerxin. He won't waste a bullet on that final duel. And so MOUZ 4-1 CT side, looking good so far.
It's looking great so far.
So far.
Winning Nuke is just as impressive as winning the whole series here, just because of Falcons' reputation on it and how they know they always close the third map versus MOUZ. There's no one really lagging behind. Spinks is maybe not playing his best game today. Did a lot of work this stage, but loving the gameplay out of Xerxin, Jimmy, Brolin's entries, his holds on Mirage were also great, even though they didn't win that map. So far, it's just been one bad half for MOUZ.
Yeah, but that one bad half is the difference between a 2-0 and having to do it here on Nuke. I would have loved for that first one to go different, but again, at least strong start on this CT side. We've already been reminded this evening that you can never count the Falcons out. Torji at a distance sends a teammate ahead of him, and Xerxin locked in beneath Silo. There's a lot of presence here for Falcons, and if they're cautious about the approach, they could catch Xerxin. He stays locked in. We get a smoke exchange over towards Trophy, so it's really going to be this point of contact, and there it is. Kyosuke comes out, gets traded instantly. Good shot back by Torji. Nico
that spotted, actually?
Trying to post it. Oh,
it was.
Torji goes right back. Sitting duck is Mr. Kovac. And now over towards the ramp comes the challenge out from Falcons. They'll find Brolin up along the wall where Jimmy got his 2K. Torji on the scene.
Nice.
Very quickly in with that op to establish man advantage. His third kill of this round alone. And it's a task now for Tesses. 1v2 clutch sent down to the B site. He doesn't know if there's anybody here. He'll create a bit of a question. Spinks, is he ahead of that? Yes. Already moving forward off of the molly. He'll catch Tesses with hands busy, no bomb plant. And a 4-1 lead goes to the way of MOUZ.
Shout out to Torji, man. He's leaving his mark on this series big time. Now this is him outside alone, but then he becomes the third player to ramp. And by this point, when he runs through this molly, he already knows that he's barely taking a risk here. His teammate's still alive. He comes in for a quick peek, easy kill. Torzi has taken this opportunity by the horns.
It's a clutch that could have been. Didn't get a chance to get rolling. Another man advantage as well. But, I mean, never mind. It's so instant, that trade frag out of Torji.
What, clutch? Tesses? Or
that could have been, yeah. Just this 1v2 just now. Never even gets off the plant.
Half investment here for Falcons. Already, I mean, Mouse have set up double ramp both times that they've gone ramp.
You could see Falcons gunning for that corner position, right? It was Jimmy with the double off the 5-7. Brolin kind of pays the price, but sudden pop into the A floor. And up in the rafters is Brolin, again coming out from the corners. Mau's in-game leader, locks them into the hut, and no exit from lobby. They'll try to reapply pressure with the util, but you've got Jimmy with eyes over top of that smoke, so they're not falling for it. No reason to panic here if you are Maus. You're down to 35 seconds, you're up versus pistols. You've already done a good job of stopping that first attack into A. But over towards the ramp room will be Torzy's next challenge. And he's worried about Utter. He has a reason to be. Do they slip by in that timing? Falcons have got 20 seconds to make this happen. Oh, and Monacy's gonna catch the drive-by.
Hey, he's got his favorite gun.
Desert Eagle shots out from Squeaky. They're gonna cut off him, so it's all Monacy, and he's just hoping to hang on to the op. That's the silver lining here in round 7. Monacy gets away with an upgrade. 4 up for Maus as they'll secure the 6-1 lead.
It's like this Pyrrhic victory where Monacy gets the op, but it's already too late. It doesn't really matter that Torzy's scared or that he's by himself because there's just no time to build a play off of it. You just know at best you give up this kill, give up a gun. And to be fair to Monacy, it's actually one of the best things he could get out of this round. That was already over, so. Another upper hold, that's good. I mean, they have 2 players on the floor, 1 player in Spinks behind the smoke. I'm waiting to see a round where Falcons are going to pick the site that's weaker. The only round they got, they ran down Jimmy as he was trying to escape into lower. Didn't even do anything too risky.
Jumped around. Gets past that hold. This is a threat outer, and Zershin knows it. They've got a player to deal with any potential secret push, but that's still a low lean. Downstairs it is. Zershin starts to take a look, and
he's trying to help out. He's trying to help out because if they get into mini and there's still squeaky pressure, like there's a lot of emphasis on Spinks. He's playing back opposite vent right now.
Look at this reposition though from Falcons. I mean, these are 2 players that were already beyond main, and now they're going back into lobby. And all while Monacy sits over here towards Secret with the bomb. Sure, he's got kicks down ahead of him.
Into an op kill too.
Torzy's sitting on it. Easy collection. Brolin finds another. Into the lobby goes the Falcons, and down they go as well. Monacy's bomb still just floating outside now behind the red box, and this one for Falcons just looks a little too thin all across the map.
Yeah, uninspired, and also they didn't respect that Maus were going to go and try to seek back some information. I think they were hoping that Exertion was going to be more scared, but he went for his clear upper out on... Just wondering if there's even a chance to get back into this. Monacy does find 1 pick.
Always a chance, man. Monacy's alive. Oh, Spinks gonna put him to rest.
What a round.
Catch Nico. All right, Spinks is absolutely finding his moments now. He is off the charts. 10-3, dominant, impact on both bomb sites, and here to close out any hope that Falcons break through in the 8th.
It was a little worrying seeing Falcons T-side on Inferno. And some of the plays that took place was just too clean out of Maus. Their ideas looked a little bit too obvious. And I mean, it takes a team like Maus to make you look like that. Not many people can stand to Falcons on any map right now. But this series is almost over. Maus 7-1 in the lead, another pistol that they win, another half by here for Falcons.
Gonna try to charge down ramp.
Oh, Torzy thought he was downstairs. He got blinded and ran back across their screens as if he lagged out.
A sitting duck for Nico, double headshot off the Deagle.
Oh, he missed a railing, had no idea. Thought he was safe.
When Maus thought they had momentum.
It's another gift at ramp. This is how they won that round. The 1 round they won, chasing Jimmy down.
That time it was just the flood into the lower site. Near instantaneous. This time around, we're going to get Brolin taking a sniff back towards hell. They give up their lower control.
It's such a good move from Brolin. Like, it's the one chance they have to multi-frag.
Oh, here it is. Right on the corner. Tech 9 in the backdrop.
Oh.
But Kyosuke, good play, up close, best it's Brolin, 4 versus 2, looking comfortable for Falcons, and now that A site is just prime for the taking.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Spinks is here watching Squeak, he's not gonna see anything, but Zershid's coming around through Hut, right? I mean, so there's 2 best spots you could maybe retake from. If they get too lurky, this is where it goes wrong. Kicksan, this can't be cloudy, man. You have to be standing on whatever you go for, and you don't let lurk kills happen.
All of a sudden, to the top of ladder goes 2, but that's the time for Zershin. Now he's over towards this bomb site. Modessy's gonna drop Spinks. That part goes well for Falcons. Deagle shot from Nico.
Okay.
His 3rd of the round. There is a bit of cloudiness there from Kicksan in the calls. That gives Mouse one last lifeline. Of course they're gonna try it with this lead.
Yeah, I think Brolin's in his head a little bit. There shouldn't have been a possibility for Mouse to bring that back. And Falcons could not figure out where the best place to go was, and the rotations were excellent here from the CT side, but this is, yeah, Torji thought he had already dropped down lower.
It's a breakthrough moment for the Falcons. Torji right back to headhunting. Oh, but that's gonna keep you locked in. If you know somebody's up there, surely you can't just stop watching.
Yeah, Nico's coming in from the other side of it. I think Torji knows that. Yeah, what a shot. Hey, that was on point.
Such an easy lock-in for Torji when he sees Nico's head the first time.
And he called for the flash, too. I don't know how that wasn't in the kill feed. I swear he was blind.
I feel like Nico never looked up.
Yeah, maybe it was him looking down.
Well, a recovery required here for the Falcons, and one that gets offered over. Jimmy steps right into Monacy's scope. Kyosuke.
CT's everywhere.
Caught inside of that smoke. Pressure applied here by Mouse. A chance to try to bust down the doors. Again, he'll look towards the rafters, but it's a reposition from Brolin. The couches Falcons off. It is only Monacy doing anything here. And a fast swing out from Heaven's got the health bar flow. Nade onto it, and Kicksan popped inside of the doorway. It's got to be Monacy from start to finish. He knows there's one in the back of the site, and also the second up top. He's got the bomb to work with.
Oh man, he wishes there was a way to win this round. 40 health. Who's gonna make a mistake, really?
Smoke meets him on Squeaky. He will again announce his position. And there was no hesitation here from Torji to go back and lock down ramp.
And Brolin's gonna body block the vent, so he pulls one in that direction, but still. We've seen Monacy in impossible moments, but 15 seconds, no, won't get this either.
Zershin off the top of Hut, ends it.
A timeout's being called here. Zonic's trying to get into this. T-side's been abysmal. To be honest, the 2 T rounds they won are kind of predicated on some lucky things happening. Getting the dink on Jimmy running down, then that other ramp hit that they come in with not much to work with. And it's a little awkwardness is like the worst thing that's happened to Mouse so far. But for 2/3 of the round, or all 3/3 in each position, like they're solid. Openings have been really good. Rotations have been really good. They've stacked the appropriate sites. And even when ramp is a little awkward, they had 2 players there. You know, you're not trying to go ramp when there's 2 players waiting for you. I just feel as though Falcons T-side so far, calling-wise, has been a little blind. They've been just hoping. They're making this one look like Inferno. Matters the most. Who's coming through?
Execute that doesn't have everything just put in position yet. Smoke on Squeaky makes it awkward. Tess barrels through. You've got Brolin blind to the back of sight. Nice. Yes, still successful. Falcons go for the full exec.
This one's off the tack.
Yes, sir. Nicely done. They keep it clean. There's no Brolin up in the rafters to stuff them. Instead, he finally dies empty-handed. I mean, he's been a solid part of these holds. You know, doesn't have the most amount of frags, but has been a critical piece of keeping it easy for Mouse. Not this time. Falcons off of the page, off of the pause, go in with the full exec.
And you could see like some of the repercussions of losing players on these other rounds. It's not like Mouse have built up an enormous economy. It's just so late into the half. This is the latest that Falcons have got back into a half, and they still haven't shown that they have yet. Just one extra is nice. Trying to close out with 4.
Yeah. Damage. Oh, more even applied. So be it.
One left.
Only Nico survives this one.
Doesn't matter.
Plenty of money.
They're all good for the buys.
At this point, it's just Falcons fighting for the round wins, and that will be their 3rd. You know, it's nothing fantastic. It's just a nice, clean execute.
They haven't won any rounds on a T default outside. I mean, we've got Nico and Kyosuke working in tandem, taking over the responsibilities, going for lurks, but Mouse have just been so good out there. Even when Torsi has started Secret, he's caught them off guard.
Monacy going for the duel. Torsi's already behind red. This is a wider angle than what he's gone for in the past. They seem to be looking for it. Smoke grenade's kind of indicative that somebody may be back here. It's going to be tough for Torsi to get out of here alive. But spamming that smoke is just going to welcome the challenge. Zershin pop first. Now the support systems for Torsi offline. Brolin's going to recover with 1. Torsi steps back through that smoke.
That's so nice from Kyosuke. He peels back a bit from Unbreakable, looks behind him right after he gets the kill too, kept in mind the inventory of where the CTs could be.
So ready. Torsi doesn't even get a chance to fire off that op here in the final round of the CT side, and so Falcons gunning for a 4th round win could damn well be enough to springboard their own CT side. They pause.
It's the best position they've found in a default so far. Now it's about making the close. We saw how they had a couple nervous moments even in a 4v2 versus a team that shouldn't have been able to come back.
We know how strong that execute was in the round prior, so grenades trickle into the A site again, but singular. 1 smoke on main.
Be sure-footed. Don't step into this fearfully.
Oh, jiggles it first. Brolin.
Careful with your bomb.
Gives up the angle. Now comes that flashbang. A bit of pressure out through Squeaky, but there's no follow-up.
The lurk's not in place yet. Kyosuke's coming in now.
He's still smoked off by his teammates. When that fades, he's going to get the challenge. Spinks actually tucks back into the boxes. You've got Jimmy up in the rafters. Brolin going to start burning out into the scope, but that rafters position again. It was Brolin previously. Spinks gets bested, and Falcons come out big. It's another moment for Kyosuke from the top. 13-9. 3 of the last 4 rounds. Falcons find their lifeline. Kyosuke is their lifeline. A very critical last round put on the board with a cerebral play, you'd say. Just dodging that threat outside, giving Falcons a chance. This is a half where Mouse probably felt for a moment invincible, but they give up 3 critical rounds in the last 4 rounds of their CT side.
Yes, they do. And maybe that's all they need. We'll see, but the story of the match is the pistol rounds, and that's not something that's happened to Mouse before.
I will say what I said previously. I want to make sure we're still a team throughout the half, okay? We're a team throughout the half.
No matter what, if push comes to shove, we'll see what sort of a challenge Falcons have to offer, or whether it's 6 for 6 in the pistols for Mouse.
They got a shark in the vents.
Oh,
no!
He
Doesn't get the kill!
Unreal.
Oh, Jimmy, he got his aim back because he landed on his head. Instant headshot.
And just like that, Nico's got to deliver. He'll execute Brolin and Zershin. That was a much-needed multi-frag. Jimmy, lucky to be alive, as Kixan jumps down around the ramp. Torgi's got the bomb. Where is Torgi? Okay, over here towards the Astralis plant. Just pauses for a second, because he's also got a player up above him. This is this late play from Spinks. On arrival, Kixan's dead.
6 for 6 if Monacy cannot win this clutch.
Spinks starts to head upstairs. Torgi's pulling back. They want to figure out where Monacy is, and now that they've confirmed it, he's going to see that bomb over towards the ramp doors, but you've still got this vent threat, a low-health vent threat.
He's got him scared, but Monacy dips out of the vent. They're still going to commit to upstairs. There is no reassess of the situation.
Just playing with him. Monacy's been out-rotated now. Bomb plant back of A site. You've got low-health Torgi, low-health Jimmy.
Jimmy's just playing security guard, trying to keep his attention.
And a lot of potential for Monacy in the clutch, but to exit out the vent is impossible. Good job by Jimmy locking that in. You see the credit given instantly. 6 for 6 in the pistols. However, back on that 5th pistol at the start of this game, it was the first time that Nico and co were able to force buy successfully.
Oh, this is crazy.
I can't believe TESS doesn't get the backstab.
It's the foot stab. If he right-clicked right there, he would have been dead. Whoa.
Force buy here for Falcons. It worked in the first half. Can they pull it off twice? Maus can see the finish line. And standing on that finish line, thousands of Hungarian fans. Zershin takes point, down secret. You've got pistols on the other side, 2 and now a 3rd added through that vent.
They're hungry to make something happen. And they can only be so patient in this spot. You know, they know they're not going to have too much impact if they wait here the whole round, but really hoping it's a late round play for Mouse. It's definitely not your usual setup from the CTs, but it won't be tested right now from Zershin. He's not concerned with taking a risk alone. This upper pop's coming in fast. Kicks in. Pressure. TESS. Nice shot.
Hell of a deep shot from the back of the side. Nico's got his. Oh, it's
What's
flawless!
that? Excuse me?
Right back at it.
A kill feed full.
In a matter of seconds. Ooh, they do it twice, and this time all the more convincing.
What?
How does that happen?
Well, they did it twice, but in the first half, Mouse won the next round right after. There's just, kill feed's instantly full of blue. Everybody, even the players downstairs, got up here, got involved. And nobody missed. Well, that makes up for the Jimmy mishap inside the vent last round.
That's going to be a frustrating one. This frag grenade's going to take wind out of the sails. Multi-frag! And one off of the ace. Kyosuke, easy ramp hold, cues up Monacy to end it. It's going to be an ace back for Torgi needed. And he's already pressured from both sides. He'll pop Monacy, rack up the costs. Nico Nate's going to end it, and we've got Falcons off to the races immediately.
And we're going to cite that last round as the reason this comeback began. And the crazy part about it, maybe that was even a team ace, but it was everybody getting involved at the same time. It wasn't one heroic play from one individual, which is normally the narrative around Falcons. Looking for leverage on another comeback. I can't help but feel like Mouse were scared of Mirage a little bit. Even though it didn't look like they totally crumbled, it was just too clean, too easy for Falcons on that CT side. They got a chance to do it again. with the stakes even higher. They barely got through that last half, and now they're happy about those few rounds they got. They're looking to nullify a lead.
Maus let them back into the game. Last 4 rounds of the half, and Falcons fought for it. I say let them in. I mean, again, Falcons put in the hard work.
Yeah, it is a round that's impossible to analyze, right? I mean, it's everybody getting 1 kill at the same time versus an APOP. I mean, in terms of the organization, there wasn't even time to decide if Maus had made a mistake.
Easy. Great shot back out of Torji. He'll take those. Monesi comes back in for second servings, can't manage another frag. And they're gonna keep trying to challenge him, but honestly, he's getting away with missed shots at the moment. Maus should have a couple more corpses on the ground already. So you've pushed back the Opper far enough that you can head downstairs with a bit of free space behind you. But ahead of you sits Nico, and next to him is Kicksand, just over towards the doors. Big drive-by moment here for Brolin to capitalize, and well, you'd think Kicksand is the next to try to step this up. Fire doesn't spread, he finds Sanctuary. Over towards that single door is his next teammate. And Kicksand gives away his position, fine by him. He'll go ahead and secure the round with 3 members up for the Falcons.
And that's his 5th kill. And a lot of players for Falcons really didn't show up on T-side, but T-side can be difficult. CT, everybody's going to get their numbers up. I can't believe this is already a 2-round game.
And all Falcons have to do is think back to Mirage, where they were again pushed to the limits, but then played that flawless streak of a second half. They've done it before within this series. They've done it to Maus all season long. We get guns back up from Maus. Should have been here way sooner.
Yeah, they're going to have to do this the hard way.
But more importantly than that, they are here now. This is an opportunity ahead of them.
Somehow becomes a story of surviving 6 pistols when it felt like that was going to be the damning stat.
Ouch, frag is on the money. Zershin down to 60 health. Nico in the garage doesn't confirm any of this crossing, and neither does Monesi.
They got the preemptive move, though. We've already got Kioske downstairs. Kicksand's here jump spotting. Now, you know, Maus have secret. They look like they're going to commit to it. They totally could, but we'll see about this next interaction. The jump spot right now. Oh, Kicksand's already peeled back. He's playing it really safe. Kioske up on clock. Man, they're really letting him go very far. You know, it's a lot of pressure on Kioske. He's had some good sprays already. But, dude, you know, Kicksand not getting the early info. They actually don't know they're here.
Oh, good swing!
Man, I don't know about that.
They'll find 2 inside of sight for free. There was bodies in position, but those bodies go down with nothing to show for it.
Listen, like, aiming well is also having information before the fight comes in. In that spot, it looked like Kicksand and Kioske know what was coming. They had no idea. They didn't know all controlled side had been taken. I think Kicksand needed to jump spot a little longer before he started to peel back from that spot. Just didn't want to die doing it, maybe. Was worried about an op, potentially. I'm not sure. But 2 with a preemptive rotate, it's kind of wasted when they play it like that. And I think more so on Kicksand than Kioske. Little too scared.
Right. I mean, that's that kind of fear that we also sort of saw Kicksand's call back on the T side when they got the ramp room. And, you know, there's been moments here where I think Kicksand kind of lacks conviction. And maybe that happens when you're 5-13 in map 3 of a critical series.
Well, you're in IGL, so you got to get used to that sometimes. Still got to make the good calls.
This one a bit
but you're right, it
lackluster.
is obviously easier to call when you're playing well, just naturally. It's a human thing for sure.
Trying to get back at it, letting Maus get to double digits first.
I think Cyclone knows the opportunity at hand. He just won one of the most solid rifle rounds so far.
You remember his words of encouragement coming into the second half. No matter what happens, we stay a team.
No regrets.
No regrets. And losing to that force buy in round 2, you can't think about the regrets you'll have if it fuels the Falcons CT comeback.
You actually can't regret losing if you try your hardest, and I think that was the message.
And so a very convincing victory as Maus walked forward in with guns. Was it kind of Falcons leaving a little slack? Maybe. But Maus can only play up against what is in front of them. And they did a great job in that last round to keep it convincing. 5 strong. Falcons majority alive. It's what fuels this rebuy.
Kioski's playing this to allow Mondesi to come and help him out. Mondesi's maybe going to make his way over.
That Zershin dead
good
outside.
Spot, though.
Kioske with the blind side, eats the flashbang. Oh, it's a bit labored. And in that moment, Mondesi's able to get a second frag on the round. 4 versus 2, looking great on Falcons. Torji drops down to the lower site. You've got Kicksan sitting here, but again, a bit of uncertainty. That's fine. He'll blindside Torji, catching him as he goes back just over top of that edge. And Brolin with what feels like an impossible 1 versus 4 ahead of him. Bomb sitting down here. Gonna be tough to recover as all the Falcons come down to support it. He's just trying to figure out where Kicksan's got off to. Another 4 Falcons in-game leader, and that is gonna build a bit of individual confidence.
And that now it's just it's a pistol and it's a round on an island surrounded by a series of good responses from Falcons. It's definitely time for Cyclone to speak, and they've got timeouts to use, actually. We saw the impact after attack pause from Zonic in this game. Winning on that upper pop, the end of the last half. That's what they're going to need from Cyclone right now.
I mean, I love his words of encouragement, but there is a bit of falsehood to it. We're winners, guys. No, the story is that Maus aren't winners. Focus on the day. I mean, you know, I think that's just a testament to that mental barrier that Maus have faced all year long. A trophy inclusion to Poca as Brolin takes over in-game leadership. One of the shocking roster moves at the very, very tail end of the offseason in 2025. And ever since, sure, consistently in the playoffs. Always right there.
Oh, the last bullet.
Oh!
Ooh, okay.
Spinks has got another. Play like winners. And so play with confidence is maybe what that translates to. And confidence is brimming as they come into this. 2 fresh duels, 5v3 established. And you put pressure on 2 struggling players in Tesses and Kicksan to recover this 3 versus 5.
This is what a lead gives you. More chances to find opportunities like this. It's the smallest mistake. It's not even a mistake from Nico. He comes in at the tail end of a spray to try to punish, to get some damage in, maybe not even thinking he's going to get the kill. Takes one in the head. But they're the ones who don't have the rounds to play with. 3v5 now, what's the idea?
Sees that player up in heaven. Oh, it's a labored spray. Both miss. Tesses picks up the kill to Jimmy. Kicksan's got one as well. This is a 3v5 well underway.
What?
Spinks was pressured to get away from that box, but still Tesses, Tech 9 in hand. Drive-by denied. Maus will find their 11th.
How in the world did Spinks find that duel? Molly behind him, both running out of ammo, forced to peek the only side that Kioske is holding. The guy who is top fragging right now for Falcons can't lock down that kill. And then it's another series of disasters after the opening to this round.
Last couple of bullets for Jimmy into Nico.
Oh my goodness.
Zershin holding back the lobby push as well.
This felt like a pullback for sure for Falcons. Well, that's not the case. 11 rounds now.
This is Falcons' last timeout as well.
And I can't help but feel like there wasn't much about the pause from Cyclone that had to do with that round. That got into new territory very quickly.
Mauser in a bit of a driver's seat when it comes to these timeouts moving forward. Cyclone still has 2 to call while Zonic's burned them all.
And again, because he didn't burn his idea, you think that's going to come out now.
Right.
And it's going to build a little bit on what they just saw.
It would make sense.
Maybe it gets doubly as bad here for Falcons.
You know, we had that back and forth affair over on Inferno. We're sitting in it again. 4 rounds non-consecutive at the moment. Maus fighting their damnedest when it comes to this Falcons CT side. It's still well-funded, this Falcons defense. But is it brave? Can they step up to the challenge that is this 3-round lead for Maus? Playoffs on the other side of 2 more round wins. We don't question Mouse's ability to step up into top 8s. We question their plays on the big stage. Kicksands on a double.
That's massive. One
Good
back.
recovery back from Spinks, sure, but that tells them 3 players outer was the plan here for Mouse.
I don't know if Nico's revealed his presence sitting here in Big Garage waiting for lurks.
Walk-up situation.
Brolin, he's got the bomb in mini.
Trying to get into A. You've got grenades coming out of that back sight. Nico's looking for an angle, but oh, it looks like they've surpassed him. No, one step back. He misses his chance. This is Nico under pressure. This is Mouse starting to recover.
And now Spinks could be a problem for Nico. He's got to rotate back in. 6 HP.
It's what he's left with. Stuck inside of main. Kyosuke's going to kill him.
And that's both players known now.
Down to the B site goes Mouse on the brink of their 12th round.
Oh!
Nico's going to give them a little more to work for.
It's got to be the Chief.
All he has. Tough dive back to the single door. They'll know exactly where he's playing from. This is a huge health advantage and firepower advantage. But Brolin's not going to waste the moment. He's already trying to go for this long wrap, but this 5-second defuse is coming through and he doesn't arrive in time.
It's the stick with conviction.
Falcons push this to the limit, and Mouse damn near recover from that 3v5.
The tragedy was avoided when Nico got that kill in vent. That was a perfect pre-aim and made up for the fact that he was stuck in Big Garage, couldn't finish off Brolin as he first dropped down vent. Right here, it felt like this damage getting missed was going to be the issue. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Psychro saying, it's calm. Anyone's game now.
Man, this money's sketchy. What's the call? Trying to keep a bit of money here on Torji by the looks of it. He'll be coming into the round. 2,500, just gets the P250. We've got a couple of Tech 9s and a couple of AK-47s here for Mouse.
While you have the lead, you want to make those economic concessions.
Over towards ramp, fast challenge by the looks of it. Kyosuke tries to spin.
Don't use all your ammo. Oh!
Brolin, instant entry. He was a god back on Mirage in times of getting these openings. Zershin, he's going to try to play down behind the vent stomp, and these CTs are scrambling.
They're screaming. They didn't hear him.
He's got an easy frag. Drive by to the spine of Nico. Kicksan slides the M4 into control. Threat over towards the top. Kicksan gets his. Response back from Jimmy. Mouse will fight with less. And as Tesses and Monacy try to take a look at this B site, they have to wonder, do you save?
I mean, how can you even go for it? The upgrade there in control side, everybody's got guns now but Torzi. It's time to turn around.
Oh, and so this is how they do it. Mouse take their 12th with lightning at their fingertips.
Wow, Kyosuke was by himself on ramp. He thought he was just spamming a smoke. No one could have come out in front of it. He used so much of his ammo. He wouldn't have done that if he was more sure that there was a chance that someone could pop out. But, you know, maybe you do that if you have another teammate inside of the ramp. We saw that Mouse double stack the ramp often enough. Mouse haven't really done that too many times, so catches him off guard. There's responsibility on his shoulders. He's been playing so well this game.
And they make that play happen off of a Cyclone pause. Saved to the final hours. Saved until the brink of victory is sitting right in front of you.
And then Zershin walks down the vent behind 2 players. They're so terrified after this one kill. I mean, that's the long and short of it. Brolin gets an entry, and then suddenly you're just terrified.
Never saw it coming. You see how surprised Nico is.
They didn't even hear him drop vent. They were talking so much.
No clue.
They were shell-shocked.
3 opportunities to beat a team that has busted them up every time they've met this season.
It's time for revenge, Mouse.
And it couldn't come at a better moment to dodge the thought of having to play in the 2-2 game tomorrow. Mouse need one more round to secure the big stage. And we've got damage on Kicksan out of the gates. Drop down to 50. Mouse came at that with 2 rifles and managed to pull it off. Just goes to show, fighting spirit is the word we use to describe Mouse tonight in order to exceed all expectations, to change history.
He doesn't even shoot back because they haven't responded at all. They're walking downstairs. 5 CTs are still upstairs.
Falcons starting to be at a bit of a loss. Monacy missed shot. This could cripple their chances to hold. Nico slides down, will only find the one. And Torji's counterpart does a good job of at least maintaining ramp. Dive back into the trophy. Kyosuke's got his. Monacy's got the double. Oh. And so Falcons on the brink of fighting on. Zershin slides forward and Monacy's got something to say about it.
Yeah, he had to stop him. I can't believe he got that many kills after missing his first shot on the ramp. A golden chance here for Maus. And Maus are lucky they won that half buy. They'd be broke in this situation.
1 of 3 map and match points goes the way of Falcons.
Cyclone saved these timeouts for now.
7 rounds, non-consecutive. As we can barely separate these two teams.
It's insane. I mean, Nico just coming out of the vent, they had no idea about this 3-man play down lower. It had to be Monacy, beginning to end.
And he was so ready to start to leave, but then just gets vision on the player coming at him from Trophy. Good thing he jump spots as well, or else he wouldn't have spotted that second player who had already crept by his line. We've got Glocks as a part of this equation. This is Maus working with less again. And if they hadn't just pulled this off 2 rounds ago, you would never believe. This head-to-head so skewed. Nuke, somewhere they've never won. And now Nico fully flashed as a player fall down on top of him. Monacy and Nico combine for the open. Here comes that Galil. Thomas challenge out from main. And kicks down to 9, gets cleared off of the wall. Maus will fight tooth and nail again at the start of this round, and with 1:20, they can catch their breath and try to collect their thoughts.
Yeah, they want to create some separation here from the CT side, have them guessing, spread out a little bit, and make one more mistake. Maus have been better in these spots at causing mistakes. Monacy's been acutely aware. He pulled him out of the depths on that last round. He gets a little info. Build that tension.
Oh, they just step right through.
Total disrespect.
Oh man, Jimmy on the point, and with that op locked in, backside TSS on the brink. Oh, it's instant!
And he knows he was supporting this push.
TSS dead next. Maus have got this in the bag. If not for that one last superstar, bomb plant here by Brolin. In a year of Counter-Strike where Maus are constantly towards the top, but never with their trophies. One single taste of victory, and that may mean nothing in comparison for Torji to step forward into the playoffs on home soil. Kyosuke's got a chance. 3 kills off of that. 3 health, I mean. Players down beneath. Brolin's gonna pop him, and Maus amongst the